In addition to adding tabs for files, websites, and SharePoint pages, you can also add tabs to a variety of popular apps that have integrated with Teams. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a channel. Let's go with From Dark Ages to Renaissance in my Social Studies AD team. And again, to add a tab, I'm going to come up to the top here in the tab bar and click on the plus sign for Add a Tab. I'm going to start by adding a tab to a YouTube video for this particular topic. So I look in the list of apps that can be turned into tabs for my team, and look, I found YouTube. Let's go ahead and click on it. Notice that I can search for a video from YouTube right within Microsoft Teams. So I don't have to leave Teams to add content from YouTube. Let's search for a video related to the Dark Ages. All right, I found my video, so I will just simply click on it. And yes, I want to post a little announcement to my conversations tab about this tab. And we'll go ahead and click save. We'll give that a moment to load. And notice that I have a brand new tab in that tabs bar. And let's just click off of it for a minute and we'll click back onto it. Notice that that video actually loads right within Teams. And all my students have to do is press play. All right, let's go back to the general channel. As I mentioned before, there are a variety of apps that have integrated with Microsoft Teams. One of the latest apps is Flipgrid. So let's add a tab to a grid that I've actually created for this class. So again, I'm going to click on the plus sign in the tabs bar. And this time I'm going to select the app Flipgrid. Now, notice that Flipgrid wants me to enter my flip code for my grid or the Flipgrid URL. So I'm just going to pull up my Flipgrid app and I'm going to copy the flip code for my Social Studies 8 reflection grid. So I'll just click share and copy that code. And let's go back to Teams. And I will paste that code in, Control V, and click save. We'll give that a moment to load. And here we are inside my grid in the Flipgrid app. Now, if you are not familiar with Flipgrid, you create a grid for a class. You can create more than one grid if you'd like, and you can have multiple topics inside a grid. So I would plan on using this grid throughout the year. Because it's the beginning of the year, you'll notice that I only have one topic, and students can come to this tab and click on the topic and then press this green button here in order to add a video to the topic in my grid. Now, let's switch over to the student view. I want to show you something that could potentially happen. So here I am in a student demo account inside Microsoft Teams in Chrome, and I've clicked on that tab where I added Flipgrid. Now, Flipgrid grids are protected or can be protected. In this case, I set my grid up to be protected with our student ECSD credentials. So that means that my student will have to log in with either Google or Microsoft. In ECSD, the credentials are the same. So they're simply going to click on a button, either Google or Microsoft, and that grid should load inside this tab in Teams. Now, what if it doesn't? What if there's a pop-up in the background that's blocking it from loading? You can simply come up here to this little icon, this little square box with an arrow pointing out of it. This is the Go to Website icon. And if we click on it, we're going to be redirected to Flipgrid's website. And again, the student can select how they wish to log in. And there we go. The student is now in that Social Studies 8 grid and can see any and all topics and can contribute to topics in the grid. Let's go back to my team. Ideally, the grid will load just like this inside the tab in Teams so that my student doesn't have to leave Teams in order to contribute their voice to a topic in a grid in our class Flipgrid. All right, well, that's how easy it is to add a tab to a popular app in Microsoft Teams. Now, keep in mind that adding tabs to apps like YouTube or even, what else do we have here? Quizlet would allow us to enhance our content and engage students. And if we add a tab to an app like Flipgrid, we even give students the opportunity to amplify their voice in our class.